How's it going, everybody? This video is for Desert Sapphire. She was asking me how I cache my preps. The way I do it is in cans like this. This is a 155mm howitzer rocket propelled grenade surplus can. In it, it's airtight, it's watertight, you can bury these, they'll last forever. They were made to be stored. This is the kind of product that they didn't take out and expect it to go bad in 5 years. Because they didn't know if these were going to be buried for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, so they had to make them right. This is what the top of the can looks like. You can see it's locked into place. These can't be pulled open. The way to unlock them is you start turning this top gap right here. And pretty soon it releases every one of these little corners here. And you can pull it out. And you can see the inside of this has an O-ring on it. A giant one. That keeps it water resistant. And this can is made to be locked down tight. So if I lock it back up, you can see there's these two holes here. They're made so you could run a cable through them or a chain and hold these down so no one can get into them. For those of you wondering, the inside is just a hollow tube. There's no padding on the inside, no lining. It's just metal. So I'm going to go ahead and show that for you guys. I'm showing you with a Surefire light. See all the way down in there. Well, let's get on to the concept of how you store these. When caching your preps underground, this is a great way to do it. I'm going to use my Benchmade as a pointer here. Yes, it does say legend on it, and it is sexy. But anyway, please excuse my drawing. I'm not a great artist. But hopefully I get the message across to you guys, and hopefully you understand. If you don't, shoot me a PM or leave a comment, and I'll answer to the best of my ability. Anyway, let's get started here. The first thing you need to do is find a space unique to you or your family. It can't be a place that you can see from a road or a sidewalk. It can't be over a well-traveled area. It has to be out of sight, out of mind. And what you're going to do is go to that place and kind of survey the area. Make sure there's no running water, no moisture hitting directly on it. So you don't want to do it 6 feet from a riverbed. You don't want to do it next to a ditch. You want to do it several feet away from that so water doesn't affect whatever you're storing. The next thing you need to do is bring a shovel with you, maybe some friends and all your tubes, and you're going to be there a while. What you want to do is find that spot, measure it out, and dig 6 feet, 4 feet, somewhere around there, depending on how many tubes you have. For 2 tubes, you need at least 4 feet. For 3 tubes, you need at least 6 feet. And what you're going to do is dig all the way down to the bottom. Let's say I have 2 tubes like I'm showing here in the picture. What you're going to do is dig down those 4 feet right here that I have from my 2 tubes. On the very bottom layer, you're going to put your best tube with all your best gear. So maybe in there you want to put your best food, ammo, you want to put your firearm, and make sure when you select that firearm it's a really reliable one. Then you're going to put just things that you might need in a dire situation. And then you're going to take the topsoil and you're going to actually push 6 to 12 inches of soil on top of that tube. And then for your next tube, you're going to put it down on top of that. And right here you're going to put your clothes, maybe food that doesn't taste as great, maybe spices, stuff that if someone found it, they wouldn't be too thrilled. They're going to be like, oh, here's a t-shirt, an extra large. Great, that's not going to make my day. And they're going to forget about it. They're just going to take the tube. And the whole process about this is someone's going to dig down because maybe they see it, it catches their eye, and they're going to dig down to that first tube. In that first tube, because you don't have nothing flashy, they're going to forget about it and they think they've come to the end of the rainbow. Now, you can have your best stuff still left to you. And maybe no one will find it and you can just have extra layers of stuff. It's really going to help you if something happens. Because you got to remember, if someone has a shovel and they're digging or they're taking their metal detector and having fun in the park or something, most of the time when they shovel down, they're going 6 inches at most with that shovel. At most. And that is going to be a big difference in what you're doing. Another thing you might want to do is take rocks and put it on top of your ground soil, because people who are doing stuff like that will not dig through rocks because they think if there's 1 or 2 rocks, there's going to be a whole layer of rocks on the way down, and that'll actually save you a lot of headache. You might be asking yourself, what should I put inside these kits? I'm not really sure what to put. Well, here's a few things that I put in every single one of my kits. I try to keep them redundant so no matter which one I go to, I know what I have. I always have some form of first aid. Always, always, always. Because you never know if you're going to be hurt or if a friend's going to be hurt. There's just no telling what can happen. So it's good to have. I always keep a map of the local area, including resources I might need to access. I keep food such as freeze-dried food. I keep grains, stuff like rice. It's really important to have it. You want maybe 20, 30 years of shelf life in these things, because you don't know if you're going to access them tomorrow, or maybe you're going to access them like 30 years down the road, and you want to make sure that they're going to be good. I always put some sort of knife. There's a Charade Old Timer. You always put some sort of light, like a flashlight. That one generates its own power by squeezing the handle. I always put fire making capability. I put paracord in every single one of them. A survival book. And then of course ammo. And no, this isn't everything in one kit. I usually put a lot more than this. And then I like to put some sort of firearm. My weapon of choice is an SKS because it's slim and fits in every tube. The magazines on like AKs take up too much space, so you never get as much power for your buck inside the tube. So you really want to be careful of that. These have internal magazines and they're really reliable. These are just as reliable as AKs and they can last just as long. Very good to have. Plus it has commonality of the 7.62 by 39. Well, I hope this video was informative. I hope you guys learned a few things. I hope everything works out well for you guys if you do this. So rate, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to check out Desert Sapphire. I'll talk to you guys later.